Hey guys, I hope y'all are having a wonderful day today. So I'm going to be showing y'all my 10-minute flawless makeup routine for oily, acne-prone 40+ skin. So we're going for a flawless look, but one that's still pretty natural. And we're going to be using products that are going to help us keep the shine at bay during the day. And these are also products that are really good for those of us who are thinking about getting a little bit older. So this is the finished look. I hope that y'all like it. So let's jump right into it. So this routine is going to take you give or take 10 minutes depending on how much you think you need to do with your brows. So keep that in mind. So I'm going to show y'all how I fill in one of my brows, and I know everybody loves using brow pencils. I actually prefer brow powders. I think they're easier and I think they're quicker. So this is the ABH brow powder duo. This comes in a bunch of different colors. I want to say like 8 different colors. This one is the shade Granite, and as you can see it has 2 different colors, hence the name brow powder duo. So all I'm doing is I'm taking a very small angled brush and I'm dipping into both of the colors, and I like starting kind of like in the middle of my brow and working my way back to my tail. It does take me a little bit longer on the tail side because I feel like I just don't have a tail, so I kind of have to draw one, but all I'm doing is just filling in the sparse areas. And even when you're doing like a quick makeup routine, I think that you should spend a little bit more time on your brows because they do kind of frame your face. So as I'm getting to the front part of the brow, I'm going to be tapping just into the lighter shade just to give my brows like a little bit of a gradient look. And again, I'm just filling them in. So if you've never tried a brow powder before, you should give it a try. I think it's a lot easier than using a pencil. So I would say to do both of my brows, it probably takes me about 3 minutes or so. But for some of you, it may not take that long if your brows are not quite as sparse as mine. But all I'm doing is just filling in all of the sparse areas as I'm going along. Okay, and that is pretty much it for the brows. If you want to, you can go on top of that with a gel to keep them in place. So this is the ABH brow gel. And I just like to tap that on and then kind of brush it through. I do this very gently just to make sure that I'm not brushing too much of the powder off of the brows. Okay, so next I'm going to go into foundation. So I like using a foundation that's really nice and buildable, one that can give you a good amount of coverage without you having to put on so much product. And this is actually a skin tint, but it's one of my favorite complexion products right now. This is the Tower 28 Sunny Days Tinted Sunscreen. I wear the shade 55 in this one. So I'm going to put on about that much of it. And lately I've been blending out my complexion products with this brush from Merit Beauty. So when you're doing your foundation, whether you're using a foundation, a skin tint, whether it's liquid or powder, you want to start applying it to whichever area of the face you think needs the most coverage. So for me, that's definitely on the cheeks. And then I like to put the residual product everywhere else. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. And even though this is considered a skin tint, I think it gives pretty good coverage. More like a, maybe like a medium coverage foundation. And you want to make sure that you're dragging your foundation down to your neck just so you can get rid of that demarcation line. And then I'm just kind of patting it over just to make sure that it's really laying on my skin nicely. Now for me, this is okay coverage, but if I'm going for more of a flawless look, I might want to build up the coverage a little bit. So I am going to go in with just a little bit more. And same thing that I did with the first layer of product, I'm going to concentrate most of this where I want the most coverage. Now, if you have a lot of scarring on your face like me, you don't have to rely just on your foundation to cover everything up, because you are going to go back and set your foundation as well. So I'll show you what the powder that I'm going to use in a little bit, but I'm going to stop right here because the powder is also going to give me a little bit of coverage. So keep that in mind. So next we're going to go right into concealer. So I like using a color corrector underneath my brightening concealer under the eye. So I'm going to tap into my Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. I'm just picking up a very tiny bit on the tip of the brush, and I'm just going to brush that along the under eye area. If you feel like you don't have as much darkness as me, then perhaps you feel like you can skip this step, but I feel like I really need it for my under eyes. So this particular color is good for color correcting up against my skin tone. And because this is such a high coverage concealer, it's also giving me some coverage. And then on top of that, I like to apply a brightening concealer, and I'm also going to put it on the center of my face to brighten up that whole area. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer in the shade 15. That Kevin Aucoin concealer was in the shade SX13. So I'm going to put this on the under eye and just in the center of my face. And then I like to take my residual foundation to blend concealer on my chin and my forehead. This brush, I know y'all have heard me say this a few times, but this brush blends complexion products out really fast. This is the Merit Beauty brush. And then I always switch to a more dense brush for the corners of my mouth and for the under eye area. And I blend the under eye area out last, just to help the concealer sit there the longest and kind of thicken up, and that will also give me some more coverage. And then I'm going to take some of this residual foundation, or concealer rather, and I'm also going to hit my eyelids just to cover up that darkness as well. And I'm going to go right into setting the concealer just so that it doesn't crease up on me. So I'm going to be using my Kosas Cloud Set Powder. This one is in the shade Pillowy. And I'm hitting just the immediate under eye area with this. And then for the rest of my face, I'm going to use another powder that's going to give me a more flawless look, and it's also going to add a little bit more coverage on top of my liquid foundation. This is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Mattifying Powder, and it's called mattifying. It definitely gives you a mattified look, but it doesn't look like super like overly matte. It still looks like a really nice natural matte finish. So I'm just picking this up on a pretty dense brush, and I'm just going to really push that into my face. This will help to ensure that your foundation is really nice and set, especially for those of us with oily skin. This is one of the main parts of the routine that'll help us not get shiny during the day. So you guys should be able to tell that this powder has given me just a little bit more coverage on top of my liquid foundation. Now, just because we have oily skin, that doesn't mean that we can't have some sort of a glow to our face. So I like to rely on my blush and my bronzer to give me just a little bit of glow. So I'm going to be using matte products because I do have oily skin, but these products, they're matte, but they also have like a nice sheen to them, if that makes sense. So for my blush, I'm using my Pat McGrath Divine blush. This one is in the shade Paradise Venus. And I like to apply my blush kind of like right behind the apples of my cheek, just kind of like a little further up on the cheeks and not like right on the apples. And as you can see, this blush, it definitely has a matte finish to it, but it has like a soft sheen to it as well. And then same thing with my bronzer. I'm picking one that is matte, but it has like a nice glow, a nice sheen to it. So I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury matte bronzer. This one is in the shade number 3. So I'm using that same brush that I just used for my blush. I'm just using the other side of it. And I love this bronzer because you can pretty much build it up as much as you want, and it's still going to look like really nice and really natural on the face. And then I always like to use whatever bronzer I'm using. I like to use that on my nose as well, just to give me some dimension in the center of the face. And then I'll take either my foundation or concealer brush just to tone it right back down. I'm also going to take a little bit more of that same bronzer on an eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of dimension in the lid area. So I'm just dragging this kind of like in the crease and also kind of patting it on the outer part of the lid. And then I'm also going to take a little bit more. I'm just using the same brush and I'm just pinching the bristles together. And I'm also going to drag this kind of like a third of the way on my lower lash line. Now, if you want a little bit of color, a little bit of shimmer on your lids, you can pretty much take any type of shimmery eyeshadow palette. So this is the one, this is the Too Faced Natural Nudes palette. So this is the one that I usually grab when I want to just throw something on the lids. So I'm going to go in with this shade here. This is called Rose Gold, and you can just easily pick some up on your finger. You can do this with any eyeshadow, and then you can just pat it on the lid. And then if you want, you can go into a different shade. So I'm going to take this one here. You can go into a different shade to give yourself an inner corner highlight. And then I'm going to go back into the brush that I used to apply the bronzer and then just do one final sweep through that crease area. Okay, so we're almost done, so I'm going to throw on some eyeliner and mascara. So this is the Hank & Henry liquid liner. So I have really hooded lids, so I never do like winged liner or anything like that. I use eyeliner just to make my lash line look thicker. So the only thing I ever do with eyeliner is just apply it really, really close to the lash line. And then for mascara, I'm using the ColourPop Act Natural Mascara on my top lashes. This is a really good $9 mascara, one of my favorites. Actually, my favorite right now. For those of you who wear lashes, I don't wear false lashes, but based on what I've seen in other videos, if you wear false lashes, I'm pretty sure that might add just a little bit more time. Maybe a couple more minutes to your routine. So I like putting on 2 coats of lashes or 2 coats of mascara. So I'll just go back and forth just to give like the first layer just a little bit of time to set on the lashes. And then when I go in with the second coat, I like to concentrate more on the tips of the lashes. And I think that helps give some length and some curl when you do that. And then for my lower lashes, I'm going to be using the Merit Beauty Lengthening Mascara. I like to use something that's not quite as bold on my lower lashes, just because I feel like I want a little something down there, but just nothing that's as bold as what I have on the top lashes. So if you have lines under your eyes like I do, make sure you take a small brush and then you just want to brush through that area, and that'll just help prevent some makeup from collecting in that area, and it just won't look as heavy on your under eye. And then the last thing we're going to do is lips. Okay, I just had to take my lip mask off, so now we're going to finish up with lipstick. So you can obviously use a bunch of different things if you want to do like a lip gloss with a lip liner or a matte liquid lip, whatever you want to do. But I would say definitely something that doesn't require a lip liner is obviously going to be quicker to apply. So I'm just going to go in with a lipstick. This one is called Crisis. This is one of the cream lipsticks from Urban Decay. That is what the color looks like. And you can obviously choose any color lipstick that you want to, but I chose something that's kind of bold because I think that looks really nice with the Flawless look. But you can also do a nude lip. You know, you have a bunch of different bunch of different color options. And here's my finished look for today, so let me know what y'all think. If you try this routine at home, let me know how long it takes you and let me know some of the products that you use for your routine. So I really hope y'all enjoyed this video today. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel before you head out, and I will see y'all back here for my next one. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.